Did we learn to wait for God when we should have been taking action? Have you ever delayed making decisions because you were waiting for God? Again, welcome to Reflect It with Shola. Waiting for the right sign, waiting for the right prophecy, waiting for the right feeling, waiting for God to move first. This is my personal story. What if I told you that some of us have spent years waiting? Not because God asked us to, but because that's what we were taught. What if we've confused faith with passivity when you should be reading? Today isn't about attacking the Bible, it's about asking an honest question. Did we learn to wait for God when we should have been taking action? Stay with me because by the end of this video, I want us to look at faith from a perspective that changed how I see responsibility, prayer, and even my own life. If you grew up believing that God would do everything for you while you simply waited, you and I may have misunderstood some biblical teachings. And if every decision in life had to wait on religion alone, perhaps it's worth asking whether we were taught the whole picture. This isn't about rejecting faith. It isn't about rejecting God. It's about reflecting on how our beliefs shape the way we live. I've shared these thoughts in one of my older videos about how these limiting teachings affected me and made me wait, consistently looking in the sky. They said Jesus is going to come. So I thought I wouldn't even write WAEC, the exams we write before we go to college. I thought I wouldn't even write it because of what? Waiting on Jesus. And many of us are in that thought too. Because belief have consequences. They influence whether we prepare or procrastinate, whether we learn new skills or wait for miracles, whether we take responsibility or expect life to change on its own. These are difficult questions. Are you waiting for life to change on its own? But I believe they are worth asking. The questions are difficult, but they are worth asking. Many of us grew up hearing things like, God will make a way. Leave everything to God. Just pray about it. God's time is the best. There's truth in many of those statements. Prayer matters. It does. Hope matters. Yes. Faith matters. Yes. But somewhere along the way, many of us quietly concluded something else. That our responsibility was simply to wait. If nothing changed, we waited. If we didn't have work, we waited. If our marriage was struggling, we waited. If our health was declining, we waited. If opportunities disappeared, we prayed harder. But often didn't change our actions. Looking back, I wonder whether we unintentionally replaced action with waiting. And here's the part that made me stop and rethink everything. The Bible is full of people who acted. Noah didn't just pray, he built the ark. Noah didn't just pray, he built the ark. Joseph didn't simply dream, he prepared for famine. Joseph didn't pray alone, he prepared for famine. Nehemiah didn't only ask God to rebuild Jerusalem, he organized people, he made plans, he supervised the work. The disciples didn't stay where they were. They didn't stay where they were. They traveled. They taught. They served. Paul wrote letters, worked with his hands, endured hardship, kept moving. Even Jesus spent his ministry teaching, walking from town to town, healing people, feeding crowds, and confronting injustice. The Bible isn't simply a collection of people waiting. It's also the story of people responding. Are you responding? Am I responding? Planning, building, learning, serving, working, taking risks. Taking risks. Sometimes we focus so much on what God can do that we overlook what people were expected to do. Faith didn't eliminate responsibility. Faith didn't eliminate responsibility. It often required it. Prayer and action weren't enemies. They worked together. Prayer and action work together. That's something I wish I had understood much earlier. Let me ask you something. Have there been areas in your own life where you've been waiting, when perhaps you already knew the next step? Think about that as we continue. Waiting can sometimes feel safer than acting. If we never try, we never fail. If we keep saying we are waiting on God, no one questions why nothing is changing. Sometimes waiting protects us from disappointment. Sometimes it protects us from responsibility. And I say this gently because I've been there. I've been there too. There were seasons in my life when I kept hoping something outside me would change. But eventually, I had to ask myself, what part is mine? What do I need to do? What do I need to do today? Who do I need to talk to? What decisions have I been postponing? What skill can I learn? What conversation have I been avoiding? What step have I been refusing to take? Those questions changed me. Maybe faith isn't sitting still. Maybe faith is taking the next wise step even when you are uncertain. Maybe faith means praying and preparing, trusting and learning, believing and working. Perhaps God never intended us to separate those things. Maybe we've been waiting for doors to open while ignoring the keys already in our hands. That's a thought worth reflecting on. You know, I'm not asking anyone to abandon faith. I'm asking whether we've sometimes misunderstood what faith was meant to produce. Could it be that trusting God also includes taking responsibility for the things we can do? Could it be that some prayers are answered through the actions we are willing to take? I genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever found yourself waiting when in hindsight you wish you had taken actions? Or do you see this differently? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments. I read them and I enjoy learning from different perspectives because no one has all the answers. You share your perspective, I read them. If this reflection changes you to think differently about faith, responsibility, and personal growth, please like this video and subscribe to Reflect Heal with Shola. Every week I share honest reflections, that encourage us to think deeply, heal intentionally, and live with greater purpose. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reflection. Be blessed.